All right. So earlier today, we tried the A320, which is it's a flight factor model, and by the way, it's a good plane. Um, but I don't know how to say this. I suck at it. That one I just had a rough time with, really rough time. So I thought, got to have a success. So that was a flight that I had from Chavez International to Gonzales. That basically is from uh, Lima, Peru to Chiclayo, Peru. So now I thought we're going back to a different airport. We're going to the same airport, doing the same flight, and seeing if we get a better result, just a more a smoother result. So that's why I'm here. Let's see how it goes. Okay, starting our process, and I'm going to go ahead and start up the. I'm going to start the batteries. Wait, batteries are up already. Okay, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and start the APU up. Get the bleed going. Get the master switch for the APU, and because we're not going to be, my goal is to not be on the ground very long. Let's go ahead and get the um, IRS is aligned. RS aligned. Anyway, yeah, I had a rough time. Had a really rough time with that flight factor A321 today, and it was the landings. Navigation, I've gotten to where I'm comfortable with my navigation using the McDo. Everything feels better. I just had a rough time. Okay, so let's go and see if we can have a good, successful flight with this one. Okay, let's go ahead and get the beacon up, the wing light, nav light, and hey, we're on the APU. Woo-hoo. Right. Right. I actually do like. I've gotten to where I really do like the. I like this A321neo, the Toliss A321neo. It's a good plane. Good plane. Okay. All right. So next steps. Let's init. We're doing I did the thing I do like that button where you can initiate pulling your flight down. That was nice. I'll try this a different way. Just curious if it's in there. So I want to say SPJC SPHI SPHI 01. See what happens here. Hey, baby. Look at that. It's there. Right. And let's align the IRS. And IRS alignment is going to take about 7 minutes. Because so our flight number is LPE 2282. And we're going to be flying at 30,000. Not sure why, but we're at 30,000 feet. Not sure why. Cost index is probably 5, and I will double check. is 5. Some numbers you see more than others. And our zero fuel weight is 151395. What if I try to put 151 in there? See if it'll take. It took. Okay, and our block fuel is I'm double checking our fuel. Block fuel is 16,431, but that is in kilograms. I'm looking at pound, looking at it in pounds here. Let me see. We're going to introduce you to our mentor. Let's get her going here. Millie, I'm trying to convert, let me see if I got this, 4,982 pounds to kilograms. Wait, that's not right. Hold on. No, not.
To convert pounds to kilograms, you divide by 2.2046. So 4,982 pounds is approximately 2260 kilograms. Keep practicing these conversions. They become second nature with time.
Hold on, I got it. Our block fuel is 16,431, which is 16.1. Okay, we'll take that. We've got to get some fuel before we go. So our fuel on board should be, that should be correct there. Okay, so 15,000, but our block fuel should be 16,431. We have 169 passengers. Our cargo, we got 12,170 pounds of cargo, so basically 6,000 and 6,075. Got to go to our app here. It's a powerful app, by the way. We don't need you. Take the chocks off. We go to loading performance, and we need to be at 6,200. 6,200. Passengers are at 169, and our block fuel should be 16,431. Now, if we look at this, we have 16,580 pounds of fuel on board. So we need to up that 16.5. 16.5. And I just saw the IRS is a line, I think. We sure did. Stephanie, good evening. It's glad to have you with me. You're in charge of all comms.
Good evening, Steve. Happy to be here. I'll handle the comms from now on.
Clearance on request. Stand by.
And our flaps are 1. Configuration is flaps 1. Goodness, should we go with flaps 2? I think we should. So we're going to go with flaps 2. And with a UP 0.7. Our flex temp is 58. All right, we're good there. We need to go to flight plan. And we're coming off of runway 16 left, departing 16 left. And let's look at our flight plan, see if I can discern if there's some. I see Jellin. Let's see which one comes. Okay. And our arrival is going to be 19. ILS 19. I got MIPAS, Kibu. I got MIPAS, MIPAS. Kibu. Let's do that one more time. So
JetBlue 809
That really doesn't help me. I still think it's going to be that. That's it. GLM Gavox Teleb.
Delivery BA 4478 stand 13 with information. November, sorry, request clearance to
GLM Gavox Teleb. Okay, let's do this. Nope. Let's go to X. And the answer is to go to the V. Alright, I think we're good there. Sorry, got kind of caught up in my world there. But I think we've got everything set correctly. That is beautiful. Are we kind of in a tight spot here? No, it's not as tight as it looks. Okay. All right, let's go check our QNH. 29.89. And cruise altitude is 30,000. Right? I have not entered squawking 5446. And we've got to put we're not yet on TCAS.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight. As you're making your way to the seat, kindly access the seat as you see your row and out of style as quickly as possible. Allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or handles first on either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under the seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So I'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Clearance is running Lufthansa 80 uniform X-ray with information Delta is ready to copy IFR to Malta.
Lufthansa 8 uniform X-ray, Frankfurt clearance, information Delta is current. Cleared to Luca via the AH-1 X-ray departure runway 7 center. Initial climb to 7,000 feet. Departure on 118.505 squawk 1751.
Clearance line 2272 IFR, clearance to Sierra Papa Hotel Instagram.
Cut our APU.
I'm working on that clearance, stand by.
Seatbelt signs on.
Giant 1512 IFR. 1 second while I grab the paperwork.
Lights off.
X-ray departure. Departure runway 7 center. Initial climb to 7,000 feet. Departure 118.505. Squawk 1751. Lufthansa 8 uniform X-ray.
Lufthansa 8 uniform X-ray, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.805.
Contact ground on 121.805. Lufthansa 8 uniform X-ray.
We're going to get our taxi clearance here in a minute. I'm looking at our taxi path because on the runway I can't just simply go straight up the taxiway without crossing the runway and then go in. So we're going to cross the runway, cross a path on the runway, and then we're going to go on the taxi path on the other side of the runway. Stephanie, can you get our taxi clearance?
I'll contact ground for our taxi clearance. Jorge Chavez, International Airport ground. Land Peru 2282, ready to taxi. We have Papa.
Land Peru 2282, Jorge Chavez International Airport ground. Taxi to runway 16 via Alpha, Bravo 1, Charlie. Land Peru 2282, Jorge Chavez International Airport ground. Contact tower on 118.1. Have a good evening.
Runway 16 via Alpha, Bravo 1, Charlie. Land Peru 2282.
So what we're doing is we're going this way. We're going to go down this taxiway. We're going to cut across right here the runway, and then we're going to be on that side of the runway to get to the other side. And we're going to cheat.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check on all calls. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of the aircraft. Kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we crossed through the grass.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta. The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and a shared responsibility of everyone on board. So before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you. Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured. Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear.
If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help. As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down.
Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Better regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin.
Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors. There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a rack. In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carrying baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with a green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisle to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull the mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note that oxygen is flowing. So don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lap children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table and footrest. Be sure you fasten your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. Carry-on items are secured and armrests are at the resting position. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we get ready for takeoff, please settle in. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta.
Those are American jets in Peru. I don't know what's up with that.
Air Canada 89er 94, Toronto ground, taxi to runway 15 right via Echo Delta Tango.
Stephanie, we're holding short at runway 16 left, ready for departure.
I'll contact tower for our departure clearance. Jorge Chavez International Airport Tower, Lon Peru 2282, holding short of runway 16. We are ready for departure.
Lon Peru 2282, Jorge Chavez International Airport Tower, runway 16, winds 155 at 11, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 16, cleared for takeoff, Lon Peru 2282.
Remember, we've got to hit 157 for V1.
18 miles west. Inbound to land, full stop landing.
We'll probably do a roll and start.
Estou em Maringá, voo 769, livre pista.
V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Flaps to 1. Flaps retracted.
Switching to departure on 119.7.
Autopilot on.
Lon Peru. Lima departure, Lon Peru 2282, evening, climbing past 1000.
Lon Peru 2282, Lima departure, radar contact, turn left heading 145, vectors to JC 832, then on navigation.
Left heading 145, vectors to JC 832, then own navigation, Lon Peru 2282.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, I'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. Now reaching altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water and juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, fresh meat items, and all-day goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh meat items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks.
Land Peru 2282, climb flight level 240.
Express card, receive 50% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system, on it, view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows.
Climbing flight level 240, Land Peru 2282.
You'll find that the screen will work best with just a light tap with your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
Some of these waypoints, there's some I don't have on my list when I'm looking between these two, my diagrams, but it's alright. Lights off, landing lights off, off. Strobe is auto, wing light stays on, I'm not turning it off.
Land Peru 2282, climb flight level 280.
Climbing flight level 280, Land Peru 2282.
Phenom 45 Golf, direct to Venro approved. Proceed direct Venro for the RNAV runway 35 approach. Spirit wings 2105. Turn left heading 160 vectors for the visual runway 36 right approach. Expect the visual runway 36
Alright,
right
so we're on a climb now. We're at 11,000, 12,000. Climbing, we're on a course bearing that's going to run us parallel to the Peru coast all the way to Gonzales or Chiclayo, Peru. Good job, buddy. This is not a long flight at all. We will actually, by the time we climb, we'll be coming right back down. It's 343 miles to the airport.
Land Peru 2282, climb flight level 300.
flight level 300. Lon Peru 2282.
Is this the one where I couldn't figure out how to cut the lights off? I think it is. That's cabin pressure. No, I don't want to mess with that. Well, truth is, I don't know how to adjust the lights in the cabin area. Like if we go back to the back, see how bright it is? Millie, you have any secrets on how to make the cabin lights dimmer in where the passengers are on the A321neo?
Sure thing. On the A321neo, the cabin lighting can be adjusted using the Cabin Management System CMS panel, usually located in the forward galley. You can select different lighting modes like boarding, cruise, or night to adjust the brightness. As for passenger seating, the A321neo typically has a single aisle configuration with seats distributed across the main cabin. The exact layout can vary depending on the airline's configuration, but it's generally a solid three seating arrangement in economy class. If you have any more questions about the aircraft,
contact
feel free
Lima
to
Center
ask.
on 128.1.
Contacting Lima Center on 128.1, Land Peru 2282. Lima Center, Land Peru 2282, evening, climbing through flight level 190 for flight level 300.
Land Peru 2282, Lima Center, identified. Good evening.
Well, short flight. It's just going to have to be bright. Answer is I don't know. Right, so let's look at our approach. We're coming in on runway 19. Landing configurations, full flaps.
United 136 Heavy, contact Los Angeles Center on 132.5.
QNH is 2985, which comes out to be temp is 21. Winds are 180, 18.
Qatari 114, climb flight level 330.
Right. Alright, we've got those settings loaded. And although this won't really hurt anything, I should have had that on mode normal.
United 3883, Houston Center, good evening.
I didn't have TCAS on.
American 1453, contact Washington Center on 121.375.
United 3883, Houston Center, climb and maintain flight level 360. JetBlue 1498, contact Chicago Center on 124.825.
Alright, everything looks good.
Qatari 114,
Fuel.
climb flight level 360.
Hydraulics. I haven't ever set up a just a random like emergency.
JetBlue 1498, Chicago Center, good evening. United 1926, I need you at flight level 410, sir.
I don't think the passengers are going to get very much time with their seatbelt off with this at all.
United 1227, heavy Denver Center, contact Salt Lake Center on 127.925.
Okay, so our landing configuration information's already in the McDo. We are 286 miles outside, and let's check out our top of descent. Those numbers. Top of climb is we're only 9 miles away from. No, not quite. We're about 16 miles away from top of climb.
Good evening, JetBlue 809 with you at flight level 190, inbound waypoint, Boston.
Top of descent is after MIPAS.
Qatari 114, climb flight level 390.
All right, looks good. I do like the pop-outs. I do them. They are practical. So Toliss, thumbs up for the pop-outs. flight vector has the same thing. Somehow I think this McDo is just a hair more intuitive than the flight vector one. Maybe it's easier to use. Yep. Okay, so what we'll do is when we get to top of climb, we'll reset our altitude to about 2,000 and allow for the McDo or VNAV to take us down, bring us down by the restrictions, everything that are already built in.
30.12, citation Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
That has to be ships out there. It sure is.
Citation Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Climb and maintain flight level 300.
This pop out's my favorite because it's nice to have the horizon like this clear, like vivid. This one's, with the rest of it, but I like that one there. Well, heck, I could want to monitor that. I could put that there.
American 1453, Washington Center. Clear Jim's for arrival into Philadelphia. Whenever you'd like, descend and maintain flight level 270.
Press 1, Houston Center, good morning.
I do like the synchronized Q&H settings. So when I set the captains right here, it changes this one and the other.
Miami Center on 127.2.
Right, we're cruise altitude. Set that to 2,000 and just let it sit there.
Center 127.2, Jetlink 237.
I think the most mistakes happen.
Line Peru 2282, Lima Center. Expect the MIPA 1 Alpha arrival. I'll have you descending in about 20 minutes.
Expecting the MIPA 1 Alpha arrival, land Peru 2282.
Let's check that out.
American 1453, descend and maintain 17,000.
See how it's spelled. Curious.
Going to 127.475, citation Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
MIPA 1A.
Cathay 831, contact Winnipeg Center on 135.15.
So that's the MIPA 1A. So I'm used to that one.
Center. Expect the try before arrival. Descend in about 15 minutes. Feel free to ask if you'd like it sooner. Cathay 831, Winnipeg Center, identified. Good evening.
see how the displays go away? When I go to the outside view, my displays, the pop-outs go away. Cloud formations even at night now look pretty amazing.
Chicago Center, contact Indianapolis Center on 134.175.
Over to Jacksonville Center 13575, Jet 237 CF. Jacksonville Center, Jet 237 CF, flight level 400.
So when we get to the top of descent and we get clearance from ATC, we will come over here, and you got two buttons. That's the one button's managed, two buttons you manage. But we'll do the one button, we'll click it, this here little thing will come up and it will do a managed descent. It will also abide by anything the McDo says in the flight plan. So restrictions are it will follow all this.
67 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 400.
Millie, what's our speed right now in miles per hour?
Hey there! Our current ground speed is 432 knots, which translates to about 497 miles per hour. We're moving along nicely.
United 136 Heavy, Los Angeles Center. Expect the Coyote 5 arrival. Descent coming up in about 5 minutes. Reach out if you want an early start. Direct Coyote.
Right, we have all the settings and all the destination arrival settings placed in there that ATC is kind of guiding us toward. It's in our flight plan. We will pass right over the airport going in.
A322, climb and maintain flight level 240.
Hey, buddy. I was thinking about this. You want the shortest NTSB report that ever could be is if they found a cat in a cockpit. You know how the report would read then. This is it. Cat in cockpit. That's all you have to say. Plane crash. Cat in cockpit.
JetBlue 1498, Chicago Center. Contact Cleveland Center on 135.725.
I've got this up so you can see it, but you see to the right of my screen. So we are en route now to the Talib waypoint. Oh no, my fault. ISREN waypoint. ISREN. We are currently about 194 miles outside of our destination airport. So I think it's Chiclayo, Peru.
Atlanta Center, 124.425, American 2310. Atlanta Center, American 2310, flight level 308. Cleveland Center, citation Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, start a gradual descent this time. Standby, try forward to Lakefront, citation Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
That's something I've mentioned. Millie, I'll make sure I understand what it is. Pred WS off.
The Pred WS off message refers to the predictive wind shear system being turned off. This system helps detect wind shear conditions ahead of the aircraft during takeoff and landing phases. It's crucial for safety, so ensure it's operational when needed. If it's off, check the system status and consult the aircraft manual for troubleshooting steps. Always prioritize safety and be prepared to handle wind shear manually if necessary. Let me know if you need further assistance with this.
Millie, I want to know where I cut it on. Where is it on my panel?
114, contact room radar on 132.038.
To cut off the predictive wind shear system, look for the switch labeled PWS on the overhead panel. It's usually near the weather radar controls. Make sure to only disable it when it's safe to do so, as it's crucial for detecting wind shear during takeoff and landing.
Air Canada 578, Denver Center, good evening.
Let me know if you see it before I do.
Aero Mexico 578, Kansas City Center. Descent coming up in about 20 minutes. Say the word if you want to descend sooner.
Pred WS. Pred WS.
Aero Mexico 578, contact Chicago Center on 135.6.
Predictive wind shear. Millie, say that again. Where am I looking for it on the overhead panel?
Sure thing. Look for the PWS switch on the overhead panel near the weather radar controls. It's usually labeled clearly, so you should spot it easily. Let me know if you need more help with it.
Take it 3 different sections to search for it. So start with positioning, flight controls, cabin and person zone. Okay. Electric power, Jeep, global position, GS, flat mode, ground control, CBR, cruise supply.
Atlanta Center, descend and maintain 16,000, altimeter
Rain
29194.
Rain repellent, not repellent. Okay. Right. It's not an anti-ice. I don't see it.
Center maintain 7,000, American 2310.
Millie, where are the weather-related items on the overhead panel?
Sure thing. On the overhead panel, weather-related controls are typically located near the center. Look for the weather radar controls, which include the predictive winds here system, PWS switch, and the radar display settings. These controls help you manage weather detection and display during flight. Let me know if you need more details.
Citation Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, traffic at your 12 o'clock, 2 miles, same altitude, type unknown.
They're labeled. We got air conditioning, electrical, fuel, hydraulics. I don't see it. My keen insight in the obvious is just not working. We'll find it later. I think she might be wrong. I mean, she's very rarely wrong, but I think she might be wrong on this.
Air Canada 578, clear Thompson Niner, arrival into Denver. When you're ready, descend and maintain flight level 300.
Midpoint 96 Alpha, radar contact. 8 northeast of Truckee at 8,000 feet. Truckee altimeter 30.24.
Red flight 6996 Alpha, copy.
We have bird activity on our runway. Hopefully it won't be an issue.
Departure 126.3, red flight 6996 Alpha. Good day.
At 9114, contact with DZ radar on 120.58.
Good morning. November 650 Charlie Lima request IFR clearance to Sierra Papa Juliet Chop.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
A352, contact Denver Center on 127.905.
Alright, we're currently about 39 nautical miles from the MIPAS, and that will begin our arrival descent. Here. We're still 127 miles from the airport. Plenty of time to get down, especially because we're only 30,000 feet this time.
10, 916, contact 1 center on 126.875.
Sorry to the passengers. I don't know how to cut the lights down. I'm gonna have to look on YouTube about that one. love, by the way, the panel nighttime. I've got the light set like I like it. I need to save that because I really like the way it looks.
Heavy 10%, good evening.
So there's a save setting, save config. Oh, by the way, if you remove the glass reflections, it really doesn't look as good.
Qatari 114, I need you at flight level 390, sir. Qatari 114, contact with DZ radar on 120.58.
Really looking for a smooth landing. Once again, some of the history of this is I took the A320 on this same route as earlier today. Had a rough time on landing. The A320, the differences in the A320 and the A321neo is length. The A321neo will hold 220 passengers, and I think the A320 will hold 139 passengers. It's a big difference when you think about it. It's a considerable amount of passengers. But it being a smaller body, it flies more like a smaller plane. It's powerful. It's a powerful plane. But I think that played into it. Like, for instance, and still the Neo has its own challenges. You got to be careful about tail strikes with it. But it was, there's no, I usually can use the auto land system combined with controlling the throttle and kind of do a combination of things to get a smooth landing. And A320 today was just awful on trying to get it toward when it was full flaps as we were coming in for our approach. It was literally the nose on the front was beginning to rock, and it wasn't close to stalling, but it just was not as
MIPA 1 Alpha into Chiclayo. Land Peru
manageable.
2282.
Didn't feel as easy to fly. And actually, it was bobbing. The nose was bobbing even with the autopilot. Stephanie, go ahead and get our arrival clearance, our descent clearance for our arrival.
I'll handle the arrival and descent clearance for Chiclayo.
Thank you.
Lima Center, Land Peru 2282. Requesting clearance for arrival and descent into Chiclayo.
Land Peru 2282, cleared for the MIPA 1 Alpha arrival into Chiclayo. Descend altitude 15,000 feet, QNH 1011.
Cleared for the MIPA 1 Alpha arrival into Chiclayo. Descent to 15,000 feet, QNH 1011. Land Peru 2282.
I don't have to change my altitude on my there, as you see. I don't need to change it because it will manage itself down, and I'll monitor it, but it will manage itself. I see there where it's at Bixen. Bixen has a hard stop of 15,000. Well, there's the kind of Kabut keeps it at 21,000.
Please clear the cab for arrival.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time.
Contact Denver Center on 135.6.
Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
We're looking for a smooth, nice descent. Yeah, I even noticed on the flight plan, if you notice to the left on the screen, you see flight level 150. So that's ATC is parroting what's on my flight plan. Although it didn't acknowledge the Kabut. The Kabut has a like a at or above 21,000. I'm not sure why it didn't say that, but I guess I don't know. Maybe we'll be past that by the time we get there. Yeah, so like right now, we'll be. Let's see if we're at. If we're on Kabut for 29 nautical miles. I don't think we will be. We'll see. The LS's. That doesn't do anything to our on the flight control part right now, but it just brings up the landing system. Hey, Cheetos, come here, Cheetos, come here. You okay? You okay? You okay? Good boy. Did you find Cheeto? Sorry, I mean to blow your ears out there. What was I saying about cat in the cockpit? Okay, so we're at 65 nautical miles from the airport, but you gotta remember we're gonna be passing the airport. It takes 72 nautical miles to get down from 35,000. So we're currently at 24,000 and we're 63 miles away. So we're in great shape right now. Right. Enjoy the peace and quiet. It'll get busy in a little bit. We are just getting to 8 nautical miles from Kabut waypoint onto the Bixen waypoint. That's 21 nautical miles. And that gives us a little bit of time at flight level 150. Not much, but a little. And it looks like we might end up stopping at the. No, we're going down to flight level 150. We're not stopping. You see on the right there, the flight plan, it has Kabut and a hard pass of 20,000. Yeah. Well, it's non-point. Moot point.
Primary is 119er. Decimal 565. Secondary is 132 decimal 335.
Can I cheat that?
Aeronaut 1417, Washington Center. Good evening.
And I'm start cutting back our. Let's do this. We're gonna bring up the lights.
Delta 7034.
Put this to say, yeah, on a 40-mile radius. That'll just give us a better range there. That's good. And honestly, we don't need this light, so let's turn that back down. And we are at 18,000. Switching back to standard, from standard to our, there we go. QNH 1012. Stephanie, can you get a QNH reading from center?
I am unable to get the ATIS or weather information. You might want to check it yourself.
Alright. Just want to double check it. I don't think it's going to be that big of a change. Okay. It was...
Southwest 855, contact Albuquerque Center on 132.8.
Right, QNH is 1012.
Aeronaut 1417, Washington Center, contact New York Center on 124.625.
And we're going to go ahead and activate our approach configuration. We're going to go activate approach phase. Confirm. All our settings are already in there. Okay. The QNH there, I want to change, make sure that it's updated to 1012.
I'm Peru 2282, contact Chiclayo approach on 125.39er.
Switching to Chiclayo approach on 125.39, land Peru 2282.
Added discontinuity there.
Chiclayo approach,
Kinda
land Peru
irrelevant.
2282. Good evening, descending through flight level 150 for flight level 150.
Land Peru 2282, Chiclayo approach identified, Buenos Tardes. Expect the ILS Victor runway 19er approach into Chiclayo.
Expect the ILS Victor Richter runway 19 approach into Chiclayo, land Peru 2282.
Got that? Alright. And by the way, I think we can see the airport. Way out there in the distance. We can. So, doesn't do us any good because we're actually coming in from the other side. But we'll pass right over it. Very controlled descent. Everything's going really well. It's good. We are, let's see where we are now. It's, we're dropping down to should be going down to 200 and yeah, 250. We should be hitting going down to 250. We're about to light it up. Did I take the reflections out a minute ago?
Land Peru 2282, descend altitude 3000. Turn left heading 350 vectors for the ILS runway 19er approach.
Descending to 3000. Turning left heading 350 for vectors to the ILS runway 19 approach. Land Peru 2282.
I hope he doesn't mislead me, because I thought we were on a pretty good course. I'm trusting. Okay, this is Say Intentions. I've got to kind of put some faith in Say Intentions for this one. So we'll see if they lead us right. If you ever wonder or just want to confirm what they said, so they want us just to descend to 3,000. We're turning left 350. We're doing vectors to ILS runway 19. I don't really know if I want to. Well, you know what? I said 3,000. I'll put it at 3,000. Okay, so this is a good test. So we're on Say Intentions using our Say ATC is coming out of it's AI ATC, and they are the ones that are vectoring us for our approach to runway 19. So let's see if I get it right. It's a good test. Good test. There's not too many views I can give you, like in the dark.
2037, heavy. Contact forward center on 132.3. United 251, Houston departure, radar contact, cleared, direct tremor. Contact button tower on 125.5.
We should be slowing down because according to flight
Land
plan,
Peru 2282, turn right heading 020.
Right turn heading 020. Land Peru 2282.
020. We need to be slowing down. I'm arming my speed brake there, arming my spoilers. Okay. I think it's even saying, hey, you need to be going slower. I think I see over there in the plan there. They get me down to speed. Alright, I'm going to give it a hand. Let's see what it says.
United 251, climb and maintain flight level 260. Aero Mexico 578, Minneapolis approach. Good evening.
Flaps 1.
Minneapolis altimeter 30.18. Expect the ILS runway 30 left approach into Minneapolis.
Up to 260 for United 51. Line Peru 2282, turn left heading 360. Alright, good to go.
Left heading 360, land Peru 2282.
I think he's doing that because we're about to make a turn to the right to high 703.
Line Peru 2282, 3 miles from Eagle. Turn right heading 135, descend altitude 2000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 19er approach.
Right heading 135, descend to 2000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 19er approach. Lawn Peru 2282. Echo Zulu X-ray, descend flight level 220.
Citation Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, turn right heading 295.
And we're going to Eagle. We are 15 nautical miles from the airport.
Descend altitude 4000, turn right heading 070 vectors to the ILS runway 27 right approach.
We're going to activate approach. We're going to flaps 2. And we're dropping to 151.
Runway 35 is not currently active. Available runways for ILS approach are 12 right and 12 left. Please advise your preference.
Alright, we have, we're at
Land Peru 2282, contact Chiclayo Tower on 118.3.
We're at flaps 3 right now.
Switching to Chiclayo Tower on 118.3, land Peru 2282. Chiclayo Tower, land Peru 2282, evening. We're established on the ILS for runway 19er approach.
Land Peru 2282, Chiclayo Tower, roger, continue approach.
And gear down. capture. Autopilot 2 engaged. Currently at flaps 3, we're going to flaps 4. Our final speed is going to be 143. Winds right now are 2,000. I think winds are inconsequential. We're about 15 mile per hour. Not really even a crosswind, it's more of a headwind.
Land Peru 2282 Chiclayo Tower, winds 175 at 16, runway 19 are cleared to land.
Flaps are full. So this is basically a stable configuration. Flaps are full. Was he skittish? 1,000. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. It's okay. Wow, this is Peru. Five hundred. My throttle. This angle kind of messes with me. Let's see.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10.
Securely fastened until the captain has parked the aircraft.
Land Peru 2282 Chiclayo Tower, welcome to Chiclayo. Taxi to Park 3 via Alpha Bravo, cross runway 19er at your discretion. Stay with me.
Please be reminded to use
Taxi to Park 3 via Alpha Bravo, cross runway 19 at our discretion. Staying with you, Land Peru 2282.
You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your SkyMiles accounts. If any of you should have questions regarding ground transportation, baggage claim, or any other information, a Uniform Delta agent leading this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of Delta Sky team, our global partners, and flight crew, we'd like to thank you all for flying with us. We've enjoyed having you on board and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
That still wasn't a great
Flight
landing.
attendants, prepare doors for arrival. Please cross-check and all call.
I took the throttle, and then I guess when I was coming in, the flare looked okay, but he still looked like he was a little high on the flare. In any case. We're actually having to taxi and cross the runway here. That's what, in fact, that's what she was telling us to do. Is there nowhere to cross there? I don't think there is.
American 393, contact departure on 118.1.
Right, we're going all the way down. I don't care. It's fine. So when a flight, this is a Delta virtual Delta Airlines flight. We use something called Black Box Virtual. Tracks our flights and your landing, your feet permitted on your landing. You have to meet certain thresholds for it to be an acceptable landing.
Frontier Flight 3015, Salt Lake Tower, runway 34 left, winds 355 at 10, RNAV scanned, cleared for takeoff.
They're a little more picky. I think I'm going across here.
Good evening, Speedbird 2121 accepting the localizer.
Speedbird 2121. Cape Town Tower, roger. Continue the ILS Zulu approach to runway 19er at Cape Town. Wind 025 at 5.
Hitler Tower, Royal Model 409, ISS, runway 27 right.
Royal Air Rock 409er, Heathrow Tower, roger, continue approach, runway 27 right.
Speedbird 2121. Winds calm. Runway 19er. Clear to land.
Runway 19, clear to land, Speedbird 2121.
By the way, they have cars going everywhere. It's just strange.
Tower, wind 040 at 5, runway 27 right, clear to land.
Ground on 121.7, Delta 518 heavy.
Clear to land, runway 27 right, Royal Model.
Frontier Flight 3015,
Right, we're going to get our ground power. Chocks. Bring up our ground power. Now we're going to take down the power.
Welcome to Heathrow. Contact ground on 121.70. 5 is all
Air Canada 8994, welcome to LaGuardia. Contact ground on 121.7.
Cessna 151 Hotel, Bravo, McClellan, Palomar, Airport Tower, roger.
Aspen Tower, Learjet, November 28668 is 30 miles southwest, requesting a localizer 15 approach.
Thank you. Royal Moro 409. Contact ground 121.705.
Roger, expect vectors to intercept 668.
Oh, by the way, if you're a pilot for Delta Virtual Airlines, you know what you get? Virtual money. Virtual money. A lot of thank yous, but virtual money. Probably doing overkill there. Got a lot going on there. Right, last thing we'll do, and by the way, let's see if it does correctly.
Raleigh Tower, good evening, this is November 905, Papa Victor,
On the A320, I lose sound, but I think this one should be okay.
Speedbird 2121, welcome to Cape Town. Contact ground on 121.9. Land Peru 2282, winds 175 at 16. Runway 19er, clear to land.
So this is us stable configuration on final. We're at full flaps. Try to get a good shot coming in. You'll see how I almost botched the landing. But I didn't leave much runway room, but All right, good shot. That's a good shot of that. I think we're down in the cockpit there. We are off. Yeah, we are. So
Cessna 1 Hotel Bravo, welcome to McClellan Palomar. Contact ground on 121.8.
we'll learn a little and see you on the next flight. Great.
Southwest 855, welcome to Albuquerque. Contact ground on 121.9er.